Antonio Brown is about to be a Raider. So, Shannon, what do you expect from AB in Oakland?
I think his numbers will take a slight dip. The chemistry that he had with Ben was 9 years in the making. You just don't roll out of bed and just pick up that chemistry with another quarterback.
Yep.
You see, Skip, you go on the practice field and you do things, you get an opportunity to watch the practice tape. And then you go into the game, and then you watch the game film, and you see, okay, AB, I think you should have ran the route like this. Okay, Ben, I like the ball over here. That's years of communication. The Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison combination, the Jerry Rice, Montana, the Steve Young, Montana. You look at Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. That's years and years of repetition and practice and in game and understanding the little nuances, the look that you can give a quarterback and a quarterback can give you. And you know exactly what the other is thinking and exactly what that player wants you to do. So I think you'll see a slight dip. But John Gruden understands is that he needs to get AB involved early in order to have him late. It's like a quarterback. You wouldn't ask a quarterback to not throw a pass in the first quarter and then hope he comes out and try to win you the game late.
Yeah.
You give him something early, give him something easy, give him a nice throw, maybe a swing out of the backfield, maybe a slant route or out route before you start to open it up. Occasionally, Skip, you might do something, you try to hit the ball off the top. But I just believe that Gruden would do his very absolute best job to try to get Antonio involved early so he knows he can have him late. Also, AB knows that he needs to be on his best behavior. Now, he's got everything that he wanted.
Yep.
You wanted to change the scenery. You wanted a quarterback that respects you. You wanted guaranteed money. You get all those things. Now it's up to you to be on your best behavior. Okay. Practice on time.
Yeah.
Meeting on time. Be accountable when things are not going your way. Don't start throwing coolers on the field. Don't start throwing teammates under the bus. I believe he'll be on his best behavior. But I don't see what he's averaged over the last 6 years. 125, maybe 1,400 yards, double-digit touchdowns. I don't see that. But I still believe he'll be somewhere around, say, 90 to 100 catches, probably 1,300 yards.
So, to everything you just said, I see a honeymoon period. I don't know, 9, 10 games. But at some point after game number 10, you can book it, they will clash. This is intriguing to me because now who has the power? AB now thinks that he just busted up the whole system, right? He broke through Pandora's box.
Right.
He showed the NFL that the player can win under any circumstance. AB now thinks he's an NBA-sized superstar and that he has the power.
Yeah. He pulled a quarterback move.
He did. He's got the leverage over his head coach. I ask you, do you think Mike Tomlin ever screamed at Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh?
No.
I don't think he ever screamed at him. Trust me. I know because I covered John Gruden's teams. He will scream at any and everybody at any moment when he so thinks it's deserved. And again, he coached Jerry Rice and Tim Brown near the ends of their careers when they were calloused and hardened. And he did respect them because they knew how to play and they knew how to practice.
Correct.
Now, he has raved about Antonio being the hardest practicing player in the National Football League, and I believe there's a lot of truth to that. So you win big brownie points with John to start off with because you do it the right way when it's time to practice.
Correct.
Antonio at the Pro Bowl 2 years ago raved about Derek Carr and called him special. Derek was not special last year under Coach Gruden because it's hard.
Wow.
He hadn't been, but it's hard to play special football under John Gruden as your quarterback coach and your coordinator and your head coach because he is all three. And I got to tell you, AB is going to miss Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's just going to miss him.
You don't really, Skip, but when that's all you've had, you think it's easy out there with anybody else. You really think it's all you and that the quarterback has nothing to do with it.
And listen, Big Ben, for all of his faults and problems and criticism of his receivers, listen, he can still shrug off rushers with the best of them.
Yes.
He can buy time with the best of them. He will try anything at any moment, which only benefits your star wideout because if he sees even a flash of black and yellow, he'll just throw it. Right. He'll just fling it up and hope you can go get it.
You know what, Skip? AB don't even have to go there.
Yeah.
Look at his numbers when Big Ben is not throwing him.
Okay.
Look at his numbers with Landry Jones. Look at him when he played with our guy Mike Vick. Look at all the other quarterbacks that's thrown AB passes. Look at his numbers with those guys and look at his numbers with Ben Roethlisberger.
There you go. And look at Derek Carr's numbers under Gruden last year. He finished 27th in the NFL in QBR. Not good.
Skip, I was never sold on Derek Carr.
I know, and I'm not sure John Gruden at this moment is sold on Derek Carr because there has been speculation he might be traded in the offseason if, in fact, they thought they could go get whoever, Kyler Murray.
We'll trade you Derek Carr and 2 first-round picks for that number 1 pick, Arizona. You think they do the deal?
Well, they might. They just might. I would never do it. I'd take Kyler or Buck.
I don't think they're going to do. I don't think they would do that, considering that they got their quarterback on the market for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So it lets you know they want a quarterback, and it seems to be that's the quarterback that they have their sights set on.
John Gruden's history with wide receivers. So he goes to Tampa and he takes over Tony Dungy's talent, right?
Yeah.
And he did put them over the top and over the edge against his former team, the Oakland Raiders, in the Super Bowl. And on that team, I'm talking about Keyshawn Johnson, was the leading receiver.
Correct.
And they won the title. And the next year, about halfway through, Keyshawn went south. Or maybe Gruden went south on Keyshawn. Quotes from Keyshawn about what happened. He called it a toxic situation, and Keyshawn said, I just didn't want to be there. It was just something about the way I was being coached, talked to, dealt with. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was happy when I got the phone call that said, hey, we're going to deactivate you for the rest of the year. He wanted to go home.
Right.
That's how bad it got between Keyshawn Johnson, big personality, and John Gruden. Listen, John's he's got a little Napoleonic complex going, you know, like he's just the little guy who played, smaller college football. And, by God, he's going to show you that he's in charge. And if you defy him, he will fight back. And he fought back on Keyshawn. They just won a Super Bowl together.
You know what, Skip? For me, I've never been, I'm any coach that's ever coached me will tell you that I'm very respectful.
I know. Well, I read this just for you because when I got to that point about the way I was talked to, okay, that's John Gruden.
There ain't never been a coach. You can win 55 Super Bowls. You not finna talk to me. My grandpa used to tell my brother, say, boys, I want you to leave any job you ever came on the same way, leave the same way you came. And I said, Papa, what you mean? He said, you came as a man, you leave as a man. And if you think you're going to talk to Shannon Sharp anything less than a man, you and I going to have problems.
Okay, wait until that first moment, maybe on the practice field, when John blows his whistle. Antonio, you got to cut that route off shorter. You can't do that. You're drifting, whatever. And Antonio says, talking to me? You know who I am?
So interesting.
Who's got the leverage? Who's got the leverage?
He thinks he does.
It's funny that you say that because I remember I was running around in practice and Alex Gibb, who's the offensive line coach, say, Sharp, what the hell are you, 84, what are you doing? You need to do. I was like, hold on, Alex. How many routes you running in the NFL? I said, he was saying it like, but I go back and look at it. What you say, what Mike might have said, what Gary Kubiak might have said. John, what do you think?
Okay.
If he didn't have a problem with it, you don't have a problem with it. But you might be right, Skip, but I'm telling you, John Gruden, look, you're going to be back same way. If you talk to him like that, you're going to be in the same situation he was in Pittsburgh.
I agree.
So you got it basically, in other words, you got to handle him with kid gloves. Because if you don't, he gonna start bucking again.
And wait for that game when Derek Carr throws 4 errant passes, throw them in the dirt to Antonio. After the game, just wait for
that game till you get 3 catches for 35 yards and no touchdown.
It could be great TV. Just could be.
I was going to be watching just for that.
Disastrous at the same time. I feel like they're going to have a talk about this before it actually happens.
Well, hopefully you had that before you gave him that money, Skip.
Handled. Yeah, you'd hope.
We done picked up the phone. Okay, bro, so what's your expectations?
There's got to be some guidelines. All right, speaking of possibly wanting out, is Kyrie Irving officially done in Boston? Brian Scalabrine knows the Celtics better than anyone. He joins us now.